Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of How Did This Get Booked? I, of course, am your host, Jake Manning. I, of course, am a 13-year veteran of the professional wrestling business, and I have done just about every job except sell popcorn. And as always, I'm joined by my co-host, a man who I know quite well.
This past weekend, I sold hot dogs at a wrestling show.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
true story. So I'll take care of the other part that you haven't done.
Okay, so that's how we complete each other. You're like the other side of my locket.
Yeah, yin to your yang.
Exactly. Maybe I'm the black part, you're the white part?
Yeah, probably.
But probably. Anyways, Zane Riley, as always, thank you very much for joining, as always.
Thank you, Jake. How are you?
Appreciate it. And, of course, we have some returning guests as our non-fan and also special contributor, as always, Nick Alexander and Spencer Taylor. We normally go through people's backgrounds and stuff like that, but Nick, thank you very much for coming back.
No problem.
Like I said, Nick's a little bit more of a wrestling fan, but Spencer, not so much. But I have heard that Spencer's been watching a little bit more wrestling, and I've been a little concerned if we'd be able to invite you back because you know who Nakamura is.
I do. I can do the thing.
You can do Nakamura's entrance, so that might disqualify you. But I've been talking to Nick a lot about the WWE Network, and I didn't. There's a lot of stuff that he hasn't seen, so I feel like Nick is not as big a fan as I thought. But you,
no.
So sad.
So Spencer is more of a fan, and you're a little bit more of a. So it's all evened out, is what I'm saying.
There we go.
Spencer said something that I think will take her down a few pegs.
Okay, well let's bring it up.
Hit the ground running then.
Hit the ground running.
Let's go ahead and break up this relationship.
For the $5,000 battle royal, she was like, "Man, must suck for everyone else to know that one guy's gonna win $5,000." I was like, the only way someone's leaving with $5,000 is if they brought $5,000. That whole show didn't make $5,000.
No.
Well, let's get into the specifics of the show to explain why nobody is leaving with $5,000 except for maybe the people in the farmer's market next door, maybe. This is a promotion called the Worldwide Wrestling Alliance. The show is held at the Downingtown Farmers Market in Downingtown, Pennsylvania. It was held on July 2nd, 1994. Bell time was 6 p.m. and attendance was roughly about
35.
I disagree with you because I counted heads. I counted more like 48 to 52.
Okay.
So
Fuck me.
Nobody was leaving with $5,000. There was no name on this event, guys. Normally we're doing pay-per-views and we're doing bigger shows that have names on them. After what we saw, what would you say would be a good name for this show?
I'm trying to think about something farmer related.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, come on, Nick. You're good at this. You're a good pun guy.
Well, now I can't do it.
Yeah. Everyone's watching me pee. We'll come back to
There's
this.
something with mark and market, right?
Yes.
There we go.
Marking out at the farmer's market.
Yeah, something around there.
Farmermania?
Farmermania.
No.
Hot body hoedown, possibly.
Yeah, there's a hot body.
But anyways, guys, intro of the show, Tom Collins and Dino Santa, the promoter.
Father Guido Sarducci, you mean?
He looked exactly like Uncle Rico from the Playtime Life.
See, I was picking up more of a Balky from Perfect Strangers vibe from him. Like, I feel like that's like Balky's father or older brother. And every time he would talk, I was just waiting for him to say, "Don't be ridiculous."
What was his accent?
I'm guessing Greek.
Okay.
I'm guessing, or Mipos. I don't know. Miposian, maybe? I don't know. And also, too, like, anytime Dino was put on the spot, like, especially in the intro, he was like, "I don't know what to say. Wow, it's going to be a big one."
I wrote down, this guy is in a constant state of not knowing anything.
And he's the one paying for everything.
Yeah.
He'd be the only one that would have $5,000 on himself.
And he burnt it right there at that show.
Yeah. And like, listening off the names on the show, he's like Rick the Martyr Martel. Like, I guess Rick Martel is dying for our sins.
He's dying for our sins.
What's the right name?
Model.
The model.
Oh.
Yeah.
Even though he was martyring doing that show. He was taking one for.
This was his walk of atonement. Oh, but anyways, what were your thoughts on the intro video, Nick and Spencer?
So it seems to be a fad right now that a lot of stuff's getting remade. Like Stranger Things is 80s and Kung Fury is 80s. So this kind of fit right into everything I've been watching. It was like all ironically old, but it was just old. Like so, the shitty graphics that seemed to be on purpose, but they were just bad.
And strange.
Yeah.
And especially all of the gimmicks and the wrestlers that were coming for match number 1, which was our $5,000 battle royal. Each one of the guys were stopped by everybody to talk, and
that was so weird.
Interviews. It lasted forever.
Yeah, like let's talk about some of the characters we saw, maybe in chronological order. Harley Lewis.
Oh, good.
He was wearing a Harley Davidson T-shirt.
Yeah.
He looked like he was just in the audience and decided, I'll give it a go, and then walked into the ring.
I got a shot at this $5,000.
Yeah.
Like let's see what happens here, you know. And also too, like we found out later, but when he came out with that Harley Davidson shirt on there and had some yellow stain on
Yeah,
I thought that was a part of the design of the shirt, but turns out it was mustard. but it's not because of laziness. Apparently, there was an angle run at the 2 p.m. show. Where this happened.
This was a double header?
This is a double
Oh,
header.
man.
And the thing is the fact that this was a 6 p.m. show, so you got to believe guys that were on the earlier card were going to hop in their car immediately and make it to an 8 o'clock show in Philly. So this is the day where guys were independent wrestlers. You could make a real living out of it. So like on a Saturday doing 3 shows, they're making a heck of a payday, enough to probably support themselves for the rest of the week.
Especially if you win this $5,000 Battle Royal.
Speaking of, if you're playing along at home, drinking game, every time someone says $5,000, take a drink.
This will take you all the way to the end of the show.
Yeah.
Because it became a running theme throughout what happened.
If you make it to the end of the show.
And the next participant that came out was Ricky Ratchet.
With a sweet-ass bowl cut?
Yes. Like, perfect bowl cuts.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about Ricky Ratchet, he was actually an indie darling of the Northeast Indies. And he especially played a good heel because the crowd would start chanting, rat shit, rat shit, rat shit. So that was good. And then after that, Ace Darling and Mr. Morton came out with the sweetest tag team mullets maybe ever. And there's been a lot of them, but like pretty good mullets here by Ace Darling and Mr.
I was telling
Morton.
Nick that, like, growing up, I didn't watch wrestling at all, but one thing I did associate with wrestling was mullets. I just figured everyone who watched it or was in it kind of had one. So this just kind of
reinforced everything.
reinforced that
Reinforced
thought. I was
everything.
like, oh yeah, so I was right. 94, I was 3 years old around.
100% correct.
Yeah.
Did any of these wrestlers stick out to you, Spencer, as they were coming out?
As
Like,
particularly mulletous or what?
yeah, particularly
Sure.
mulletous.
I mean, they all pretty much had mullets. Just the bowl cut guy stood out just because he had a different haircut than everyone else. But no, I guess the Harley guy stood out the least, and so I noticed him the most. Like, he doesn't look like he's trying.
But
was
most
he-
normal.
Was he your odds-on favorite for this $5,000 battle royal?
Absolutely not. I thought he'd be eliminated from the get-go.
Yes. Well, you were pleasantly surprised later on. But then, before we get there, let's talk about Devin Storm wearing glasses that appear to be the Pizza Hut Back to the Future glasses that they gave out for a short period of time. Like, just all neon green. And then, like, if we're going to talk about Harley Lewis looking like a guy out of the crowd, like, the Overlord, the guy with the cross
true.
and the face paint, like, that just looks like somebody got his face painted at the farmer's market next door and was like, yeah, why not? Let's give it a go. Let's just kind of get in there and mix it up. But,
What about the guy that was just in the crowd with no shirt on?
Yeah,
Yes.
I noticed
He
him.
Just had dollar bills and he just
Yeah.
throw it up in the air.
It was like $4 also.
Yeah,
It
it's
wasn't
like-
any kind of impressive amount.
But then they would still talk about the $5,000. Like this
Yeah.
guy had $5,000 or knew what it looked like.
And he was just a fan.
At certain points, I thought he was a fan, and then at certain points, I think he seemed like security.
Okay.
But like he'd have the shirt off at one point, and then the shirt was back on.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah.
shirt was off again.
Well, it's July in Downingtown, Pennsylvania. I'm sure it's rather muggy at that time.
Yeah, snowing outside also.
Exactly.
He put his shirt back on for the women's match.
Yeah,
I
we
thought
noticed that. We're like, that's classy.
Yeah,
he was a
That's
gentleman.
classy dude.
Very respectful. But I should share a story about a battle royal, a $5,000, like a money battle royal. I don't know if you're aware of this story or not, Zane, but there's a story about Austin Idol. And it's a funny thing that you brought up about the $5,000 battle royals, Spencer and Nick, earlier. There was a battle royal that was always tradition, and they'd always be for a dollar amount for Georgia Championship Wrestling. And Austin Idol was wrestling for Fred Ward, who was a promoter, and of course, very strict kayfabe during that time. They always would have a check, and they would have a blank check for $5,000 in case some of the fans, because when you win, you got to show the fans, hey, I got this $5,000 check to make them believe that he actually won $5,000. And normally, once the guy wins it, somebody's backstage to collect that check. One time, Austin Idol won a battle royal for $5,000, and the collect was never collected.
Oh no.
So he just put it in his wallet, and then he was driving around, for an entire week with this check, and nobody asked for it. And he's been collecting money for, his shows and stuff like that, and checks that night. And he goes to the bank, and he just looked in his wallet, and he goes, so I got this $5,000 check. It's a legitimate check. See if I can deposit this. He deposited it, went through, and he got $5,000 put into his account. Caused a big controversy. Needs to say Austin Idol never won a battle royal ever again.
But he still had $5,000 or however much money.
This is very true. But anyways, this battle royal probably was a little bit different than the one that Austin Idol took part in.
You mean Supernova wasn't in it?
No, Supernova was not in it. Some weird eliminations, subpar eliminations, like Ricky Ratchet just kind of being on the apron and
he just kind of fell out. Right?
I'm just gonna step down.
I'm done.
Too good for this.
So, any thoughts on the match that stick out to you?
If fixing your gloves won battle royals, Supernova would be so rich.
Oh,
Every time he turns around, just glove fix, bad punch, glove fix.
He was Supernova. It was like, remember when South Park, they were superheroes?
Yeah.
He was like, Mint Berry Crunch never wets his pants. Like, that was Supernova. He was like a terrible, I don't know. But Supernova is a real superhero, though. He's with Guardians of the Galaxy, that whole little thing. He has his own comic book. This was not the same, I don't think.
Not the same guy.
Yeah.
not the same guy. But was the same guy from the Blue World Order.
Yeah.
And also known as Simon Dean for a short period of time, if that rings a bell for you, Nicholas. But anyways, any more thoughts about this before we move on to our second match, which just kind of rolls in after the Battle Royal?
It was halfway through that I realized it was a match. I didn't know. I did not pick up on the fact that that match started immediately.
Oh, the Mad Russian coming out and attacking.
I just thought, he's just going to beat the shit out of him for a minute, and that's it. Nope. 10 minutes later, he's still doing it.
And it was a flag match.
Yeah.
Which, match number 2, flag match, basically, the Mad Russian versus Harley Lewis, who just won the $5,000 Battle Royal, gets the check stolen from him by the Mad Russian, and thus pursues this match. So
He ripped it up.
Huh?
He ripped up that check.
He ripped up the check.
Which is probably good, because that check probably would have bounced.
But, Mad Russian Pearl Harbored Harley Lewis. And
Waka Waka.
Waka Waka. A little joke there. But I find it funny. I had to do my research on this a little bit. I find it funny that Mad Russian was wearing a Soviet Union CCCP shirt. It's about the Soviet Union.
Mm-hmm.
Soviet Union hasn't existed for 3 years now.
Yeah.
When this happened. But still,
But Goodwill had it. So he was going to take that opportunity.
Who I'm sure is the people that made his gear.
It's Goodwill. But yeah, I find it funny that the Soviet Union doesn't even exist anymore, but he's still doing it as if it's the Soviet Union.
He looks like he was from backwoods Tennessee, and then later he starts talking, and his accent was...
Yeah,
I don't know what it was.
The furthest thing from Russia.
Yeah.
He was Russian the way some people are Cherokee.
1/16. I'm 1/32 Chippewa.
It's a very muddled accent.
Yes, very nondescript. Not even really European. I don't know.
It's like he kept remembering. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, I'm Russian. No, No, I ain't in a hurry. I'm rushing.
And at one point in time, you clearly see the Mad Russian going for his blade.
Oh, real
Oh my God.
real discreet.
I've watched wrestling since I was 3 years old, and I've never seen. They zoomed in on it.
Yeah,
it was perfect.
Yeah. Of all the times this camera guy doesn't catch something, he caught this like it was his fucking job.
And this was '94. I mean, like, things were still pretty,
it's arguable that it was real.
Yeah. But Mad Russian was not afraid to like whiff on some of those boards and stuff like that.
He was just hitting it on the ground at one point.
Yeah, like he was like, "Oh, this is out of the camera frame," you know.
Nope.
Like, it's
Right
like,
in there.
Yeah, there's gonna be more people that see this on video than there are here right now. But and he even the Russian went for a really fucked up pile driver.
Yeah, where he just kind of like drops them or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was
It was like a weird, almost a pedigree. But the way he like dropped him, like kind of forward, and
I thought he was going for the Colonel de Beers pile driver. Where you just kind of pick the guy up and then throw him down.
Unsafely? Yeah. It was about
Yeah.
Right. Right.
But then like he went to pile drive him through a table.
Holy shit.
Which he thought that was a good idea, but it's like,
He killed that man.
Yeah, he killed that man. And that ringside table, indestructible.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
it just
a big-
slid out of the way. Table's like, nah, man, I'm not a part of this spot. I'm out.
But yeah, real fucked up pile driver. But like, obviously, he could have gone for the regular one.
Mm-hmm.
Like that wasn't his finishing maneuver. Like,
Or any other move ever.
yeah, but just mercilessly beating the shit out of him. Burned an American flag.
I was surprised
Yeah.
they did that in like
2
backwoods
days.
Pennsylvania, kind of.
2 days before 4th of July. Keep in mind.
Yeah.
He probably sat down during the national anthem.
Yeah,
They're definitely not getting their deposit back for all the shit that went on there, though.
oh, I'm for sure.
The floor melting. They're throwing chairs everywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I was wondering about that too. I was like, gosh, this must be like a thing. Like the building people have complained so much, and like, you know what? Let's just have one show where we just go balls out.
Just say fuck you guys.
Yeah, and just be like, they tried to they held their security deposit last time for some bullshit. No, we're going all out this time.
Give them a reason to hold this shit.
Yeah. But anyways, between match number 2 and 3, we cut to the commentary table where we have Diamond Mike also wearing Pizza Hut back to the
The
future
glasses.
glasses.
Sweetest fucking glasses
They're like
ever.
sideways. And
Yep.
I'm telling you, the
White.
the Pizza Hut Back to the Future 2 glasses that they had for a while. Anyways, match number 3, we have the ladies match with Heidi Lee Morgan and Nasty Angel.
Great fucking name.
Every time they said Nasty Angel, I laughed. Every single time. It was actually a good match.
was a really
to be
good
honest.
match.
That
They were
reversal they did.
that
She did it
leg
like
hook
3 times.
roll through? Yeah.
It looked like Shamrock used to do something
Yeah.
similar. It was real nice. It was not a bad match. Except that fucking Nasty Angel.
The worst part was the Russian got on there and started doing commentary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was a commentary line in there. Tom Collins brought something up to Diamond Mike, was saying that, hey, weren't you on the news recently in L.A., Diamond Mike? And Diamond Mike proceeded to talk about how he always like, yeah, I'm working on the OJ case. Now, I may be being too much of a social justice warrior right now, but like, I think it's a little fucked up in the sense that you're talking about the OJ trial, especially since Heidi Lee Morgan looks so much like Nicole Johnson. little bit off color here, guys. It's supposed to be color commentary, not off color. Like, it was a little much there. But
For shitty commentary, he was very good. The Reverend Mike Diamond or whatever. He just kept going, like shooting off things about like African diamond mines. And
like a lot of political stuff you didn't think a man dressed like that would know.
a man that looks like Jim the Anvil Neidhart and Captain Lou had a kid.
That's exactly what he looks like.
Verbatim.
Like a face swap type of moment.
It is.
What do we think about these ladies' outfits?
Heidi
Was
looked like a 80s fitness, that
Yeah.
whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
What was
And
the, like she had that little
Nasty
leg
Angel.
deal
Yeah. Like,
that just disappeared at some
yeah,
point?
she like took it off before the
Yeah,
match.
I
like, just
don't
wear it
know
out.
what service that gave.
I don't know. Like, but like it's just weird. Like this time because it it's so funny to look back in this era of like female wrestling and like all the girls were wearing the pantyhose with just the one piece, and that's what female wrestling was. Like that was just it. Now girls got like midriff showing and all kinds of stuff. It's completely different. But I should bring up about Heidi. Quite a illustrious career she had.
Oh.
She started. She got in the professional wrestling business at the age of 10 when she valeted for her father. Then she became a bodybuilder and was personally scouted by Vince McMahon. Then she was trained by the fabulous Moolah. And she had the first ever women's steel cage match in the United States against Wendy Richter. And then she also, in December of 1993, was in the finals match for the WWF Women's Championship against Alundra Blaze. And
star-studded career she had there.
She did, and she actually tried to make a turn in 1997 after having a kid, but she broke her back in her match back.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I don't think she ever wrestled after that again. She did open a wrestling school, but she quite an illustrious career.
Oh, wow.
I feel like we should give her a nod.
Yeah,
if we're going to compare her to comedians, she's kind of the Jackie Cation of female professional wrestling. Very neglected and forgotten about in the time of the Maria Bamford / Alundra Blaze comparison in that sense. But anyways, any more we can say about this women's match?
Didn't Nasty Angel just kind of fall?
Yeah, the finish was she missed a dive. And then she pinned her. I've never seen that before either. Her finishing move was not taking the other person's finishing move.
Was fucking missing.
Yeah, all kinds of really good female wrestling stuff. All, real good match all around.
It was a real solid match.
Yeah, no complaints. Except maybe about match 4 coming up.
Johnny for the rest of the card.
Johnny Hotbody taking on Tony the Hitman Stetson.
In 94?
I know.
You got the balls to call yourself a hitman?
Like, that was like Yokozuna, Bret Hart main event stuff, right? In 94.
Yeah.
Like, they had to,
and nothing about him says hitman, a Stetson.
Yeah.
Or fucking Bon Jovi.
Like, maybe 8th grade assistant football coach?
Yeah.
Like, Hitman, not at all.
The best part about this is when Reverend Mike is talking about Tom Collins getting ready to, like, introduce everybody, and he just goes, he looks like a real retard.
I forgot. Oh,
Dynamite.
Oh, God. And what can we say about Johnny Hotbody here? About this gentleman?
Oh, man.
Fuck him.
Like, he had the white boots. They looked like he tried to dye pink at one time. It didn't work out so well. This led to an all-out brawl over the building.
They were beating the shit out of each other.
Were they really mad?
Like, at some point, I thought they were, like, shooting.
This was real.
Yeah, there was a time there where, like, it was kind of play. Like, that's the thing. Like, it was so sissy at first, and then all of a sudden, like, shit got real fast.
I pointed out to her, I was like, oh, I think he just got him back for, like, a stiff shot earlier, and then just all hell broke loose.
Stetson started whooping his ass.
Pounding each other. Hotbody took most of it,
Yeah. But also, too, like, I don't know if it was also, too, because, like, Stetson, like, was barely selling stuff in the beginning. Also, you can clearly see him gig up against the wall, too.
Another discreet blade job I wrote down. I did not think this match was going to fucking end.
Yeah, it went
I thought it was going to go forever. And there's always my favorite mid-match promo.
Yeah.
And then, like, his determination to cut an after-match promo that never came to fruition, but he never gave up.
Oh, but I love how the ring microphone got, like, underneath the table while they're on top of the table fighting, and just you hear the rolling of the microphone, like, and just seeing that performance microphone just get destroyed, like... Oh,
this is when they went out to the shopping center.
Yeah,
People look so confused.
I can't imagine what those people were thinking. They're just shopping, and then here comes two wrestlers.
They're all bloody and
why is that guy not wearing a shirt?
Yeah,
it is the farmer's market. You saw the guy with $4.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's something they intentionally is like, let's gig before we go in through the farmer's market.
Yeah.
Like, he intentionally, like, no, I'm going to cut myself so I'm bleeding and fighting in front of these people in the farmer's market.
Well, at some point, they were running towards, like, a door, like a garage, and then
Yeah, the
people
roll
pulled
door,
it down
yeah.
so that they couldn't go.
Yeah.
And was that just another part of the farmer's market?
That's where they ended up coming back in after they fought through it. So then they're like, no, you can't go out there. And they're like, fuck that.
Yeah,
Detour time. We're going to the parking lot.
Yeah. And just follow them right through.
Close this fucking door, why don't you?
And, like, what type of farmer's market, like, would this be? You know what I'm saying?
That's what we're wondering. Who has a gym? A farmer's market with a giant gym.
Yeah.
That's where they have, like, the town prom and stuff.
Yeah.
The
It's a
town prom?
It's a prom. Well, there's only so many people there. It's a promenade.
Yeah.
A promenade building.
And is, like, this farmer's market, like, more of, like, a flea market? Or is this, like, a hipster farmer's market? Like,
There's no hipsters who live in this town.
I was going to say, it'd be funny if there was hipsters like, man, I've been coming to this farmer's market since people are fighting all over the place with blood. Like,
When I was a kid, I saw a man bleed right there in pink boots, and I thought, man, what a gay.
but, like, yeah, like... And then, like, they bumped the ref, and that was, like, what... Like the disqualification, and then the refs have like a bodyguard moment.
Carry him out.
Yeah.
I like how right where they go, this is a no DQ match. Oh, DQ'd him.
Just
There's a part where Johnny Hotbody like throws a chair and some guy's coming out of the back. Did you see
And
that?
it's
It's just like
yes. I'm so glad you were. I'm not the only one that saw that. I was so excited. He just like threw it aimlessly, and something was coming out.
Someone's
And
like, la la, nope.
oh, that was so good. And then of course, I also bring up too about Hotbody too. Like he might have been pissed off because he ripped the skullet fucking do-rag off to expose his really fucked up hairline. It's just like he's like got a mohawk and a skullet going on at the same time. Like a road warrior animal thing going on naturally.
This cul-de-sac mohawk thing.
And then also too, Hotbody comes back wearing a wizard
hat or something.
Yeah, where did that hat come from? I'm gonna be honest. I watched the last portion of this match and fast forward, and when I stopped it, he's wearing a fucking wizard hat. Which a little preview to later, fake Brian Christopher, the manager of Soul Train, was wearing the same fucking wizard hat.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't have noticed.
Everyone's trying to figure out what house they're in for Harry Potter. That guy was a Hufflepuff.
They're all Hufflepuffs.
Everybody here, all you Hufflepuffs, get the fuck out.
Squibs.
But yeah, just fighting out in the parking lot, all kinds of like just crazy hardcore stuff. And then like that, I always wonder about this because in the Northeast area, like how ECW affected that whole area. Because they started doing more hardcore stuff, so all the other like shows like this were like, well, if they're doing hardcore stuff, we have to too. You know, I tried to figure out what was going on in ECW this time. This is like a month and a half before Shane threw down the belt. So like, I'm pretty sure probably 6 months from now, somebody's gonna throw down the WWWA belt. Screw you.
See, I'm qualified because I didn't understand a thing you just said.
There you go.
I didn't understand any of it.
Good, you're back in.
Back in. Of course, we get the Ship to Shore video commercial. Ship to Shore, what a great name for video company.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what that means. But anyways, moving on to match number 5. Jackhammer taking on Supernova. Nick, Spencer, what are your thoughts on Jackhammer's ring attire?
It was weird. Well, just to walk to the ring, right? 'Cause
Yeah. That's
like
far
a
more impressive.
Yeah, a giant metal vest thing. Well, like a foot.
Shoulder pads.
Shoulder pads, yeah, like football shoulder, but made out of metal, and then rubber gloves with just like hammers taped to them, right? Correct.
Like sledgehammer heads.
Yeah.
You know how you try to make your own Halloween costume? It's never as good. He was like Road Warrior. Oops.
He looked like someone that was let go from the movie Running Man.
I got my own stuff, Arnold.
I'm cool, man.
I'm cool. No, you're
Let me
not.
talk to Richard Dawson. He'll vouch.
And like as bad as in ring his entrance stuff was, and of course he was a champion. Made me wonder, like, oh, did he design the belts too, and that's why he's the champion? Because they look about the same.
Same material.
Yeah, like it seems to be about appropriate. I must point out the entrance song for Jack Hammer, the hardest thing probably going on at that time, 94. Sad But True by Metallica. Just play something from the Black Album, brother. Like,
you got Metallica?
And then, of course, Supernova comes out to Pat Benatar. Hit me with that shot.
and you know what? Jack Hammer did. Hit him with his best shot.
Oh, for sure. And of course, Fan with his shirt off again.
Yep, he's back. Oh, the girls are gone. Time to take my titties now.
and I almost want to think that the guys in the back are like talking like, oh, there goes Gary again, taking his shirt off. they know him by name, And actually, one of the guys in the front row, legendary ECW fan, the guy with the straw hat and the Hawaiian shirt. That's Hat Guy Dudley.
Hat Guy Dudley.
As he's referred to from ECW fame.
They had the time of their lives.
They really were so happy.
I want to be that happy about anything in life.
Well, I mean, you got to try real hard, especially on a show like this. But the face paint of Jack Hammer, it looks like he took some of that mustard that was used earlier on the 2 p.m. show and just kind of smeared it across his forehead down the side and then filled in the rest with some black paint. But end of this match was a top rope push.
Sort of.
Yeah. Like, that's what he just jumped off the top rope and pushed Supernova down.
It just broke his neck.
Did Jack Hammer do anything? He's a big dude.
Jack Hammer had that really sweet... Nova came off the top and like belly to belly that like killed Nova, and then like Nova just kind of like put his arm up as a kick out.
Oh yeah, the announcer called it a belly to back, and it was a belly to belly, and I'm like, that's not even wrestling terms. That's just
two body parts touching.
How did you mess it up?
Tom Collins would be like, well, he grabbed him by the belly and he ended up on his back.
Tom Collins looks like he only has missionary sex.
But what were you saying about like did Jack Hammer do anything? Like
later on, he's a big dude.
Well, that's why I'm going to bring up a very interesting point right now, and I might end up on a soapbox here.
Did you guys talk about this? Like at one point, if we get a lull, ask me if Jack Hammer ever made it.
No, but this is in my notes, sir. You can say whatever you want, but this is right here in my notes. Is a point I wanted to make because Supernova, very Jake Manning-ish in his pursuit in a win of this match. But it turns out he became, the person that actually had a career after the Supernova.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Supernova, of course, went on to be in ECW, WWE. He was Simon Dean. He was part of the Blue World Order. He still does conventions today. He
still wrestles today.
Still wrestles from time to time. And at one point in time, he was head of talent relations. He was in OVW wrestling. He was very influential in helping people get jobs. Really good guy. And he actually went on to have a future in this business. But everyone around this promotion at this time was probably like, we got this big guy. We're going to call him Jack Hammer. He's got a real future. We're going to really push him real hard. Guarantee didn't wrestle 3 years after this, and that's the thing that's really like kind of like difficult about wrestling is that it's just like they see these big guys and this guy going straight to the top, and then they do all this stuff and they take the people who are more talented who are actually going to have a future in this business and just have them job out to them and be their crash test dummy.
The only reason I ask is because he was huge, but he like moved pretty well, I think, like for a big guy, and usually. It's the big clunky guys usually never make it. It's the guys who are big and also carry themselves like they're 220 that can't kind of keep going. And I thought he moved real well. But
I think it's all right, but it's probably busy. Got to make towns, brother. I don't got time to wrestle for Vince.
Banging rats right now.
Yeah, can't do job matches on the Superstars, brother. I'm main eventing Downingtown Farmers Market next Saturday. Anyways, we're getting close to the main event, but we got to get through match number 6, which consists of Metal Maniac and Demolition Axe taking on the tag team of Soul Train, featuring Mr. Lucifer, Ghetto Blaster with manager Donnie B, who was the guy who got hit with the chair earlier.
It comes out in this match wearing a wizard's hat.
Yes.
I love it, the fact that Mr. Lucifer comes out to whoop, there it is.
Yep.
Because now I know what hell is like. It's just Jock Jams Volume 1 on repeat for an eternity.
11-year-old Zane Riley would tell you to fuck yourself because that was one of his favorite songs ever. Ever. And when that came on at the skating rink, Bubba, watch out.
That and ribbon dancing.
Yep. And Cotton Eye Joe.
All right, I stand correct.
Yeah. You know what? I'm leaving.
Were the Soul Train, were they the heels?
That's a good
I
question,
don't know, yeah.
Spencer.
Or was it because they're black? Like, I couldn't tell where the hate was coming from. People were, like, booing them and stuff, and I'm like, are they heels? Because I guess one's Lucifer, and you don't like Lucifer,
Yeah,
right?
you're not supposed
but
to.
they didn't kind of set the other guys up as, like, good guys or anything.
Yeah.
They just all seemed like a bunch of people.
Yeah.
I think at one point, at the beginning, Soul Train is supposed to be the babies, but then they got out there, and they were like, oh, wait a minute, they don't like black people.
Yeah.
Switch it.
Well, and also, too, like, there was some sort of big controversy going on that, between...
They'd stolen the belt.
They'd stolen the belts.
The black guys stole the belt too.
That's what, and they
Vince
said, they said that. They said that. They said, that's what you do in the ghetto.
Yeah.
That's what the guy said.
Yeah, because it was Diamond Mike's like crew, whoever had the belts before, and they got stolen from them. So does that make them the crime time of babyface
I guess.
stuff, or just
It's really ahead of their time, is what it is.
I guess.
Now, Mr. Lucifer's been on our podcast before, correct? Is this the same company?
Different. You're thinking of Soul City Wrestling.
Okay, but had like Tom Collins was their ring announcer, and Mr. Lucifer was there, and Ghetto Blaster was there.
Mm-hmm. And there might have even been Donnie B on that show. So we
can only hope.
Yeah, but no, like Mr. Lucifer and Ghetto Blaster have made appearances before on this podcast, and they did not disappoint
and
again.
You can tell why.
Yes, you can definitely tell why. But Mr. Lucifer, of course, coming right to the wing and just shoots a fireball right at Demolition Axe.
Camera almost didn't get it.
Yeah, it was like from behind him.
Yeah.
Camera work in this whole thing, they missed a lot. Like, most notably, the finish of this match. By the way. Like, you don't see what happens. Which might have been in the contract of Metal Maniac. Metal Maniac might be like, I'm going to do the job, brother, but you can't show it.
Don't let it get on camera.
You don't let it get on camera. If I see a red light camera facing me, we're going to have issues.
Metal Maniac, I put that's Brutus the Barber if he wasn't friends with Hulk Hogan.
I put the Renegade looks like shit.
I put shitty version of the Native America Tatanka.
Yeah, that's a good Tatanka as well.
Oh, I didn't write anything clever about it. I don't know enough people. I wrote that he wasn't wearing anything metal.
The best one. Just a couple of leather daddies beating up some black folk this whole match.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Demolition was kind of like an S&M type feel.
Yeah. And Metal Maniac fit right in.
Soul Train versus the Gimps.
Yeah.
Demolition Axe he like twisted
Yeah.
Lucifer's horns, and I was like, only a veteran would think.
He gets it. He gets it.
And of course, Demolition hit Donnie B with his pool cue.
Okay, that's what I thought it was in that case when he came out with it.
Because I guess as a manager, you have to have some sort of item.
I feel that case would do more damage than the pool stick inside it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, pool cue Demolition. We'll let you know. But they missed the whole thing, and then afterwards there was the Metal Maniac promo. And he's talking like you saw him pull the tights. I'm like, no, we didn't see anything. And he's trying to pull it up on video. I'm like, yeah, so were we. We didn't see it either. So
you're not gonna want to look any deeper into that.
Also, too, audio's getting really out of sync at this point in time.
Yeah, it jumped real bad around here.
Well, at some point in the next match, full parts of the match are missing.
Really?
Yes. Because at one point, the sound gets so off that I think they realized it in editing, and they had to cut to the scene, or cut to the part of the match in which they're actually talking about. Because they're talking about how he's got him in this submission move, and he's pummeling him, but they're on the outside of the ring just hanging out at this point.
Yeah.
And so then it clips right over into Rick Martel having him in the submission move they're talking about. And then it happens again later. We're having some camera issues, I believe.
That must have been because Martel had him in a chin lock, and he said, and he's gonna turn this into a Boston Crab, and I was like, how? That would be amazing.
With his neck?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Zack Sabre stole that from Rick Martel.
Yep.
But yeah, the camera work on this whole thing was just really weird. Like random cutaways to the crowd looking disinterested.
Yeah. So bored.
Like I saw so many good shots of the floor of this arena. Like I could probably draw a sketch of the floor of this entire arena from memory right now.
Hey, there's an old man in a bow tie. Was he part of it?
I don't know. He looked like he had a gimmick table set up that Hot Body knocked over at one point in time.
He looks like that ventriloquist comedian's dummy.
He does.
It's like that really old angry
The grumpy one.
Jeff Dunham.
Yes, Dunham.
Yes, that's exactly what he looks like.
I think it's him. I think it's some devil work happened and he made that man into a puppet.
Like Child's Play.
Yes.
Yeah, that would make
so.
sense why Jeff Dunham's such a big deal. Soul to soul.
To Lucifer. Holy shit. Well, I'm done here.
Every time Nick comes on the podcast, we make another big discovery in the world of entertainment.
Entertainment. Loosely based word.
Yes. Match number 7, main event. Rick Martel.
Which we're already in the middle of talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jumping all over.
Yeah, but versus Johnny Handsome. Rick Martel was one of the first couple matches of WrestleMania 3. Put that in perspective to what he's doing right here on this show today. He's now at a show at the Downingtown Farmers Market, a 6 p.m. show nonetheless, in front of roughly 50 people. How do you think that makes him feel?
That had to have been rough.
I wonder how many times he just under his breath went, God damn it.
Yeah, he kind of brought it though. I mean, that was a pretty good match.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah,
he was great.
Solid.
And the other guy was Ric Flair.
Yeah, basically.
Basically, right? He was
Yeah.
wearing like a pink robe that was real fuzzy. Didn't Ric Flair do that?
Which I like that all body guys, including Hot Body and this, whatever his fucking name was.
Johnny Handsome.
Johnny Handsome. Like, they all have to wear pink. You're not a hot boy or a hard body or handsome unless you're in pink. You're effeminate queer.
Well, Bret Hart is the hottest babyface of this time, just coming off of, I believe, WrestleMania 10, winning the belt from Yokozuna.
And beating Owen.
Yeah, and beating Owen all on the same night. He's the hottest professional wrestler at the time, so everybody's wearing pink at this time. Only real men wear pink.
Damn right.
Was the slogan. Unfortunately, Rick Martel is wrestling at the farmer's market.
In really shitty baby blue.
Yeah, and not shaving his body. Didn't at all get the razor out for this match whatsoever. And actually, I looked into it a little bit too. He was kind of, I don't know, really released at this time. This was an odd time where they didn't put up press releases that you were released and stuff like that. I guess the last appearance that he had made was, I believe, he was supposed to be on WrestleMania 10 in that big 6-man or 8-man that got bumped off the show because the ladder match ran too long. And it showed up on Raw the next day, and that was one of his last appearances in WWF, which was only a few months earlier. So, he was still kind of with the company at the time because he made an appearance at the Royal Rumble at 95. So, I don't know if he was, officially released this time or he was officially working for him, but, now he's here?
Maybe it was just they're not going to fucking see this.
Yeah, I feel like that's... I don't know quite what that would be, but it might be that.
Yeah.
So,
There's no such thing as tape sharing right now, and...
Yeah.
No one's ever going to do a podcast, whatever that is, about this stupid show.
Stooge me out.
Yeah.
Wrestling here.
We're going to get the models sued.
Yeah.
But I must ask Zane Riley, what are your thoughts on Handsome's valet?
Man. What a looker, right?
What
a poor man's Miss Elizabeth.
I saw that girl. I go, oh, it's Zane Riley's third wife.
That's right. I'm going to marry this woman. Probably still today. She probably is still formidable enough for me to be yeah, I'll do that.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, just Hanson was just a kind of a job guy to set up for, Rick Martel calling out Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Of all the fucking people to call out, why would you call him?
Well, Metal Maniac called out Jimmy Snuka. Like earlier.
Beefcake Snuka, I mean, we can weigh that.
But match ends. Audience clears out very quickly because
Very quickly.
not that many of them. Dino promises that there's going to be all kinds of stars coming through, like Dwight the Clown,
Macho Man,
and Macho Man.
Yeah.
Macho Man just might show up here.
Just because he's shopping at the farmer's market.
He might.
A real who's not of superstars.
But, anyways, what are some other thoughts about the show that stick out to you guys?
Man.
Then they did that really long outro with the Russian who's just eating paper.
Yeah, he's eating paper the whole time and offering it.
Yeah,
to
the
other
best
guys.
part is that he took a bite and he was like,
You want some?
he sold it. He did it well.
But then they explained it like since he had to. So we skimmed the fact that he was then fined $5,000 for burning that flag.
Well, see, here's the thing about that too. I was curious. Are we for sure that he ripped up the check?
Yes.
Okay, because I was thinking maybe he kept the check and he was going to try and do an Austin Idol and cash the check. So then he got fined $5,000. So then Dino himself didn't lose any money on the Battle Royal, so he came back around and got even. So
When he ripped it up, and I was like, "Oh man, I bet you I should rip that $5,000 check up. You can use that right now to pay your fines."
oh, okay. So there was a turn there.
There was,
There was a twist.
Story the whole time with the Russian because he never got off commentary. He has to be somebody that's like runs the show. He's part of Office, I think.
I'm guessing ring guy.
Yeah, it's my ring. I can say whatever I want to say, man.
Yeah.
Be all the fucking Russian to feel like.
Yeah.
They also really like him at the end. They hate him throughout the whole
Yeah.
thing, and at the
He's
end
for
they kind of give
someone
him a hug, and they're like, "Oh, say what you want. He's a great guy," or something.
Russians aren't that bad. Set on flags on fire
Someone
and
who
whatnot.
burned an American flag. He was very sympathetic character towards it.
Draped a flag over a man and pinned him 1, 2, 3. Other than that, pretty solid dude.
A flag that I don't even know if it existed at that time.
Yeah,
Because
because like the 13 stars.
No, because he had it was the Russian sickle.
Oh,
That was Soviet Union. Soviet Union doesn't exist anymore. It's now Russia. That's not the Russian flag.
because I'm sure someone in the crowd was like, "Man, that flag ain't even real no more."
I
You know they
did.
defected a couple years ago.
The USSR's dissolved.
That would be a good comeback. And like if every Russian gimmick, they're like, the USSR is over.
But getting the most redneck person to say that, but hey man, yell this out. Trust me, it'll get them.
Well, that's the thing too. Like all these like old timers and weird people in the Northeast are always telling me that the Manscale character was the dumbest thing they ever saw. But know what I really need to be doing is I need to be doing a Russian gimmick. And I'm like, oh really?
I've seen one of those.
Should I stop doing the most original thing I can think of, or just do a Russian gimmick?
Russian.
Combine them.
That's
Just do the Man Scout with a Russian accent.
in 2016, yes, I should do a Russian gimmick. Let's do that because that makes sense.
There was like a guy dancing in the background during that whole outro too. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
He was like
It was the
drinking
guy from
out
the
of a
front
cup
row,
and
right?
dancing. Was it the same guy?
Yeah, I think it was.
He was so happy
I like the little fat kid that kept walking behind the guys talking.
Yeah.
and just looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on?
What's going on, guys? Anything else we've glazed over, neglected to talk about?
I believe that's it. I mean, I don't know if there's anything more on this show.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
You know, we've been doing some long ones and stuff like that. It was a good one to get this little one in.
Yep.
But
But it needed to be done.
Yeah,
There's a lot of good here.
Like there's a lot in this show that's like unbelievable to watch. Like you've got this battle royal of just 90s gimmick after 90s gimmick after 90s gimmick. You have like two brawls that just go all over the building that's, almost to piss off the people that run the building. You have someone like Rick Martel who wrestled in front of 90,000 people at WrestleMania 3 and now wrestling in front of 50, possibly still on the WWE payroll at the time. And you got Demolition Axe on the show. And of course, Mr. Lucifer coming out to whoop their ass. So, there's a lot to this show that I find entertaining that you're not going to find anywhere else.
Any clue if they kept going? Did they ever get their Macho Man?
Well, here's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. There's a point that I would have neglected to bring up. I looked up. I was like, I wonder. I wanted to look up WWWA and see, if there's a Wikipedia about it. If there's any more information. If Dino Sano got mixed up in some child pornography scandal or something. And turns out the promotion still exists.
Oh no shit.
Dino's still involved.
Ah.
And they have a website that looks like it's an Angel Fire account. You know what I'm saying? But their advertising show, the last show that I saw advertised was in 2015 in Pennsylvania, so it's still going. It might be non-active right now, but it was going as of a year ago or so. So, I'd be curious to know. And Dino even had a little corner, like, if you have a question about WWWA, ask Dino Santa. He'll answer it. So,
Hotmail.com.
You can still write him snail mail to the address that kept going across the bottom during the whole show.
Or AOL Instant Messenger, whichever you prefer.
Whatever you got. Kind of makeout club, he's on that.
All of that. But anyways, if we break this through the coals enough, before we get out of here, Nick, part of the reason I got you on here is because you're a good friend of mine, and I appreciate you jumping on here. I was a little late on rescheduling this whole thing, but also you have a ton of comedy coming up in the month of September. You have a live microphone to let everybody know. So some people will listen to this in a timely fashion. Some people will listen to it 2 weeks from now. But chances are Monstrous Comedy will have a show in the next day or two from the time they listen to this in the month of September. So please rattle them off.
Yeah, so if you're in Charlotte, every Monday at the station, this is going to be hard to remember all these. Every Monday at the station, 7:30. Sometimes there will be pizza. I don't know. Good headliners. This Friday, September 2nd, is our 1-year show. It's a really insane lineup of comedians. That's one of the best lineups I've been a part of. The 15th, at Petra's, we're doing the roast of Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. That should be a fun thing. Also, a lot of great comics on that. Man, dates. I don't know. September 21st at Tuft. Mo Aurora is coming with someone from Comedy Central. I can't remember his name. And also, if you're a little farther away, the 25th, I will be in Johnson City at the Hideaway. The 26th, some house show in Louisville. Don't come to that. Then the Zanies in Rosemont that Tuesday. And then Harvey's in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And then, I don't know. Monstrous Comedy. Go look at that.
Spencer Taylor, anything you got to get out there and let people know about?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll be on that, the roast of Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton show. And so will Jake.
Yes,
so come see that.
Yeah. I'm thoroughly looking forward to that one.
It's going to be fun.
That one's going to be very, very good. I think it's going to be properly attended as well, especially as popular as roast battle and everything's going out there. I think that's going to do quite well. So if you're interested in that show, I highly recommend you show up early. September 15th, am I correct?
At Petra's.
At Petra's on Thursday in Plaza Midwood in Charlotte, North Carolina. Zane, what do you have to let people know about?
This weekend I will be in action-packed pro wrestling, Chester, South Carolina, and Battle Zone Wrestling in Simpsonville, South Carolina. And it's being billed as a show that has 4 Pokestops.
That's one way to get people
100% true. And then the weekend after that, the 9th and 10th, I'll be in Glen Falls and Farmingdale, New York for Big Time Wrestling.
Okay. I'll be there for at least for Big Time there for sure. Oh no, I'm not.
You will not be, because that's why I'm going.
That's why you're going, exactly. But I'll have Big Time at the end of this month, as well as PWX, as well as all the dates that Nick listed here in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. But for more information on the things that I'm doing, or corrections, mistakes, or if you're Dino Santa, please get up with me at Manscout Manning on Twitter and at Manscout Manning on Instagram. If you have a question about this podcast, make sure you email me at jake@sslshow.com. Make sure you check out the website, howdidthisgetbooked.com. Especially the merch section, that's where you can get Man Scout Manning t-shirts, as well as a Man Scout's Guide to Surviving a Night Under the Stars, which is a 6-disc set where I lose every one of my matches. I am the only one crazy enough to put out a best of where I lose every one of my matches. So make sure you log on to howdidthisgetbooked.com for more information about that merch and as well as information about this show and upcoming episodes. Also, make sure you subscribe on iTunes and leave a review, please. That helps get people to know more about the show, as well as subscribe on Google Play and subscribe on my YouTube page, youtube.com/ManScoutManning, and also follow on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/ManScoutManning. Anyways, guys, this has been another edition of How Did This Get Booked?
Woo!
Yeah.
Yay.